Welcome to EVO-GENESIS. Today we're going to be talking about Panzer Dragoon Saga for the Sega Saturn. This game came out when the Saturn was on its last legs. It's also a 4-disc game, so its production was limited, making it an extremely rare game. I got my copy in 2008. I was working in a mall at the time, so the owner of the retro video game kiosk gave me a mall employee discount. I couldn't pass up on that. The first time I played the game I reached disc 2, but I was honestly too busy with work to continue. Well, I finished the game, now I'm ready to talk about it. I'll also be summarizing the story, that'll be after the review. At the end of the video, I'll be doing an unboxing, so stick around if you're interested in seeing that. Let's roll! Panzer Dragoon Saga was first released in Japan as a ZEL, Panzer Dragoon RPG on January 29, 1998. The game was released in North America on April 30th, 1998, and in PAL territories on June 5th of the same year. Created by Team Andromeda, which was a short-lived Sega studio, Panzer Dragoon Saga was their third and final game. The previous two titles being Panzer Dragoon and Panzer Dragoon II Zwei. The German word Zwei translates to the number 2, so basically the title is Panzer Dragoon II 2. Anyway, directed by Yakuyo Futatsugi, a ZEL Panzer Dragoon RPG was supposed to be Sega's answer to Final Fantasy VII. Development took 3 years and was a truly difficult process. Development was so difficult that Futatsugi, even now, whenever he runs into problems, he says, "I think, well, at least this isn't as hard as when we were developing Panzer Dragoon Saga." There's actually a great video and an article about the development of Saga. Both are below in the description. In Panzer Dragoon Saga, you play as Edge.
Edge. You think you know me?
In the opening, we see Edge as a guard at an excavation site. The Panzer Dragoon series takes place in a post-apocalyptic setting. The survivors of humanity seek out the technology of an ancient civilization that was destroyed thousands of years ago.
Cuidado, Edge.
Nihil. The
game also features the fictional Panzer Dragoon language, Panzerese, for a few cutscenes. Most of the dialogue is in Japanese. Back to Edge and Company.
Hostis? Liquor?
During excavation, a monster is awakened. While Edge is attempting to blow said monster away, a wall is exposed, with a girl sealed inside. The girl inside is a ZEL. Edge is able to blow up the bridge that the monster is on, and it falls pretty far down. A little earlier, we're introduced to Kramen. Kramen is a part of the Empire, but he's starting a rebellion and is on his way to the excavation site. Once Edge and everyone escape, they're attacked by Kramen and this happy fellow. Edge is knocked out, and Kramen's fleet takes a ZEL with them. Edge is shot by Zastava, and just like the monster, Edge falls really far down. We're then able to name ourselves. It asks for the name of the one who controls Edge. I decided to go with Evo. Edge survived the fall. Then you're able to control Edge. After a little bit of exploration, Edge finds a dragon. He's able to ride the dragon, and Edge's quest for revenge begins. After the intro, the game opens up pretty quickly. The dragon is easy to maneuver, and you're encouraged to explore and look for secrets from the start. All interaction is done with a cursor that comes up when pushing the C button. When it comes to the dragon's interactions, they're mostly shooting something, entering doors, or flying in and out of places. You also control Edge on foot. Edge uses the same cursor for interactions and inspecting objects. While playing as Edge, you can visit shops, talk to NPCs, and move the story along. Every NPC and cutscenes are all fully voiced.
Anta wa?
Panzer Dragoon Saga has a very unique battle system. On the bottom right of the screen are 3 action bars that charge as time passes. Actions cost between 1 and 3 bars. Attacking with the dragon's lasers and using Edge's blaster can either be used by pushing A or B or opening the menu with C. The lasers attack randomly, but hit multiple enemies. Attacking with edge lets you aim at a single target or an enemy's weak point. Other actions include items, dragon berserks which act as magic, change weapon, and change dragon type, which I'll come back to. Another important thing is your positioning. The circle in the middle indicates where your dragon is. Keeping your dragon in a green area means you're safe. White is some danger. Red means if you stay there too long, you'll receive massive damage. The main objective is to finish off enemies as fast as possible, while taking minimum damage. I know that sounds obvious, but you receive a rating after a battle. Win fast and get more XP, money, and a high chance of receiving an item. Take too much damage and you'll receive less XP and less money, no chance of an item. As you progress through the story, your dragon will grow. This actually happens a few times. After this happens, you're free to change your dragon type. Normal, attack, defense, spirit, and agility. Dragon types can be chosen in and out of battle. You can also check out all the forms at your camp. Camp is where saving is done on the world map. Save points are all over the areas you'll be flying around in. The world map is pretty straightforward. Select a destination and your dragon flies there. The map itself doesn't get any bigger, but there are plenty of locations dotted around. I guess I was expecting it to be a little more grand in scope, but I'm definitely glad the game stays as focused as it does. Visually, I have to say Panzer Dragoon Saga is one of the best looking games on the Saturn. Massive areas with giant creatures roaming around really help bring this world to life. Mysterious ruins from the ancient civilization that used to occupy the lands are everywhere. While running around its edge, you'll encounter unique looking characters. Building interiors are packed with details. A lot of decorations and miscellaneous items can be inspected. The few places you can visit as edge look alien and really has that unique Panzer Dragoon style. Enemy design is amazing. Crazy outlandish creatures and Imperial ships look great. You'll be doing battle with some truly impressive bosses, including other dragons. All of the monsters were created by that mysterious ancient civilization. They mention in the game that most of the wild creatures are weaker, watered-down monsters. The monsters from the ancient age are very different and much more intimidating. Spoiler, that nameless soldier dies, so sorry if you were rooting for him. The battles are also impressive. Some enemies fire massive attacks. Dragon Berserks also have some great looking effects too. Panzer Dragoon Saga has 90 minutes of cutscenes. That's the main reason that this game is on 4 discs. They're great and do an awesome job making this an incredible experience. In addition to CGI cutscenes, Saga also has in-engine cutscenes. Some of these were so good that there were times I forgot I was playing a game on the Saturn. This cutscene here is one that I really thought was cool. It comes near the end of disc 2. I also really love the artwork that's shown on the change disc prompt screen. Panzer Dragoon games have great soundtracks, and Saga is no exception. Being a larger game, there's much more music. This soundtrack perfectly suits this game. The style is very otherworldly. Together with the game, it creates such a great atmosphere. Also, while exploring ancient ruins, the musical style changes, and both are very different. This is just a great soundtrack. If you're into video game music, it's definitely worth listening to. One side quest I did was collecting all 12 blast chips. The reward was the Lightwing transformation. This is the most powerful model change for your dragon. The last 2 chips are in the final dungeon, so it is a late game quest to complete. The game isn't too difficult. I had a little trouble with a couple bosses, but I quit, rethought my strategy, and completely destroyed them. There was also no need to grind. The game is always moving forward. There was, however, one part of the game I didn't really like. The Beneath Uru section is a maze-like labyrinth that you have to do without your dragon. There are still random battles, but you don't get any experience points. That was the only part of the game I didn't really enjoy. Now I'm going to talk about the story, and I want to do my best to summarize it. After leaving the excavation site, Edge comes across a man trying to escape a monster. After dispatching the giant beast, Edge talks to the man he just rescued. His name is Gash. Gash is a seeker. Seekers are scavengers. Edge helps Gash out, and the two of them become traveling buddies for a short time. Gash directs Edge to a nomad camp. He's able to find the location of the Black Fleet and fight them off. Edge is attacked by Azel. She has sworn allegiance to Kramen for freeing her from her stone prison. Azel flies a dragon of her own, named Atol. Edge learns that Kramen is searching for the tower, an ancient weapon with tremendous power. Edge learns of an engineer named Paet that has a photograph of the tower. In exchange for some parts he needs to get his flying machine in the air, Paet agrees to show Edge the photo. While on his scavenging task, Edge is captured by the Empire. The Empire is also trying to get to the tower. Of course, our hero is hesitant about helping the Empire. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. Edge is able to escape with help from our boy Gash. Now Edge learns that the tower can be accessed through the ruins of Uru. After opening the ruins, Edge is once again attacked by Azel. The two of them battle and fall into the ruins without their dragons. After awakening, Azel and Edge decide on a temporary truce so they can escape the ruins of Uru together. Upon escaping the ruins, Azel warns Edge not to interfere with Kramen's plans. Back in the village of Zoa, Edge is summoned by Paet's father, Vyman. He wants Edge to attack the nearby Imperial base. The Empire is demanding that Zoa surrender to them. In exchange, Vyman offers all the town's information on ancient ruins. Edge agrees, and he's off. When Edge returns, he's allowed access to a strange machine. He's able to see the tower and the ancient battleship that creates the mist that hides it. He's also met by Kramen. He wants Edge's help. Edge is still very angry about Kramen's men killing his friends. Edge sets out to destroy the ancient battleship. And wouldn't you know it, he's successful. Once again, our boy is attacked by Azel. She's super pissed Edge blew up that battleship. He's able to defeat her one last time. Atome dies in battle, but Edge rushes to swoop down and save Azel. Afterwards, the Empire retaliates and attacks Zoa, completely destroying the village. Edge proceeds to attack and fight the Imperial battleship. He's able to defeat the ship but not destroy it. Kramen's fleet attacks, and Edge gets into a battle with Zastava. You know, the happy fellow. Zastava is defeated, and then he flies head-on towards the Imperial fleet and is blown to pieces. Edge then heads to the tower with Azel. He meets with Kramen there. Kramen tells Edge that the tower is too powerful for anyone to control. He's fighting to make sure the Emperor doesn't get his hands on it. He then reveals Azel's purpose is to activate the tower. The Empire shows up, and Edge flies up the tower, fighting them off. When Edge returns to the tower control room, the Emperor and his nameless soldiers are there. The Emperor forces Azel to activate the tower. It doesn't work out in his favor. An ancient beast appears and kills the Emperor and his men. The monster then kills Kramen. Azel is devastated by his death and passes out shortly after. Edge then grabs Azel and dashes towards his dragon, and they escape the tower. Swarms of monsters come pouring out of the tower. These ancient weapons obliterate the Imperial fleet. The battle fortress ends up being infested by the monsters. They take control and start destroying everything. After receiving a message at the Nomad camp, Edge is invited to the Seeker hideout. Turns out the Seekers are much more than just scavengers. Gash is the leader, and his master was also a dragon rider. The Seekers have been keeping tabs on Edge ever since he discovered the dragon. That's why Gash knew that Edge had been captured by the Empire. The hideout of the Seekers has plenty of technology and information about the Ancient Age. The Seekers help Azel, who still hasn't awoken. Gash asks Edge to destroy the tower. He obviously agrees. In order to destroy it, Edge must reach Sestrum, which is beneath the tower. But first, Edge has to go deal with that infested battle fortress. It's been running amok and has found the Seeker hideout. This time he destroys the fortress. After returning to the Seeker hideout, Edge learns that Azel has run away. He tracks her to the ruins beneath Uru. Azel is being attacked by some monsters, and Edge rescues her. Azel is the key to reaching Sestrum, so there's no destroying the tower without her. Azel admits that she doesn't have much information about Sestrum. However, she is willing to help reach it. Now Edge and Azel head off for the tower. Once inside, Edge tells Azel that should anything happen to him, that she'd take the dragon back to the Seeker base. It's here that Azel reveals that the dragon's life is linked to the rider. Should Edge die, so will the dragon. After fighting their way down the tower and battling many guardians along the way, Azel and Edge reach the bottom, and the entrance to Sestrum. Azel must stay behind to keep the entrance open. Edge tells Azel that he will come back for her. Azel tells Edge that she loves him. Okay. Honestly, I didn't really see any love really blooming between the two characters. It felt a little tacked on. But anyway, back to the story. Edge then heads into Sestrum. He ends up in a super trippy place. There are dragons waiting when he arrives. Edge battles these dragon security systems that all specialize in a different attribute. The defense dragon gave me the most trouble. Seriously, it was like a Pokemon that just kept using the harden ability. After defeating the dragons, Edge is met by the final guardian. Around the beast are glowing orbs. Edge fires at the orbs and is able to see the main character from the first game. After the battle is over, Edge is floating and his dragon speaks. Turns out I was the divine traveler. Funny, I was the one I least suspected. The dragon tells me to push a button to destroy him. Edge looks at the screen and realizes I was guiding him the whole time. Then they both disappear. Meanwhile, Gash is waiting for Edge. He's upset after realizing Edge is most likely dead. After the credits, we see Azel in a nomad camp. She's headed west. A man tells her it's too dangerous because of the electrical storms. He then asks her if who she's searching for is worth risking her life over. She then heads off. Okay, she really does love Edge. That's where the story concludes. Panzer Dragoon Saga is an incredible experience. A physical copy is extremely pricey, but there are other ways to play it. I would recommend watching a playthrough if that's something that interests you. A lot of people emulate it. Sadly, that's the only way left to play it though. During the development of Panzer Dragoon Saga, 2 team members tragically died. One in a motorcycle accident, and the other took his own life. Being the final project both of these men worked on, it's even more sad that most people can't experience Panzer Dragoon Saga. The team created something truly special, a game that was way ahead of its time. Team Andromeda was no more afterwards. However, most of the team joined the Sega studio Smilebit. They went on to make Skies of Arcadia and Panzer Dragoon Orta. Both titles are great games. Now let's do the unboxing. So here we go, this is Panzer Dragoon Saga. On the front we can see Edge and Azel. It also says the epic conclusion, and on the back it says epic adventure spanning 4 discs. So as we open it up, we can see on the back of the booklet right here, it has 2 more very rare Sega Saturn games, Burning Rangers and Shining Force 3. And now we got the booklet. Inside this actually has a lot of information. It has everything from the battle system to the story. There's even dragon transformations. There's a lot of stuff in the booklet. It's actually a really good source of information. Now this isn't like a working designs booklet, so there's no color inside. It's all black and white. But honestly, when it comes to most booklets, this one really has a lot of them beat. This really has a lot of information. Like every last bit of the game is in here. Now with the 4 discs, they all come in these little envelopes. I don't know if there are any other multi-disc Saturn games. Not that I know of. I don't have any at least. But here's all 4 discs. I didn't want to take them out just because the 4th disc was actually so tight in there. I don't know if anybody actually played it before me because that thing was in there tight. And that is Panzer Dragoon Saga. First, I wanted to say thank you very much for taking time out of your day to watch my video. I really do appreciate it. Also, this video took quite a bit of time to make. I was training for a new job and then I got really sick, so it slowed down production quite a bit. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like if you liked it. Peace!